Watchman on the Pod. All right, we are going to read out of the Old Testament. I wanted to start with the book of Job. I am reading from the 1560 Geneva Bible. Okay, Job, chapter 1. It is written. There was a man in the land of Uz called Job, and this man was, hold on, I got a hair there. This man was an upright and just man, one that feared God and eschewed evil. And he had 7 sons and 3 daughters. His substance also was 7,000 sheep and 3,000 camels and 500 yoke of oxen and 500 she-asses. And his family was very great, so that this man was the greatest of all the men of the east. And his sons went and banqueted in their houses, every one his day, and sent and called their 3 sisters to eat and to drink with them. And when the days of their banqueting were gone about, Job sent and sanctified them, and rose up early in the morning, and offered burnt offerings according to the number of them all. For Job thought, it may be that my sons have sinned and blasphemed God in their hearts. Thus did Job do, or Job every day. Thus did Job every day. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Now on a day when the children of God came and stood before the Lord, Satan came also among them. Then the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord, saying, From compassing the earth to and from walking in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou not considered my servant Job, how none is like him in the earth, an upright and just man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Doth Job fear God for naught? Hast thou not made an hedge about him, and about his house, and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But stretch out now thine hand, and touch all that he hath, to see if he will not blaspheme thee to thy face. Then the Lord said unto Satan, Lo, all that he hath is in thine hand. Only upon himself shalt thou not stretch out thine hand. So Satan departed from the presence of the Lord. And on a day when his sons and his daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house, there came a messenger unto Job, and said, The oxen were plowing, and the asses feeding in their places, and the Sabaeans came violently and took them. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, but I only am escaped alone to tell thee. And whiles he was yet speaking, another came and said, The fire of God is fallen from the heaven, and hath burnt up the sheep and the servants, and devoured them. But I only am escaped alone to tell thee. And while he was yet speaking, another came and said, The Chaldeans set on 3 bands, and fell upon the camels, and have taken them, and have slain the servants with the edge of the sword. But I only am escaped alone to tell thee. And while he was yet speaking, came another, and said, Thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And behold, there came a great wind from beyond the wilderness, and smote the 4 corners of the house, which fell upon the children, and they are dead. And I only am escaped alone to tell thee. Then Job arose and rent his garment, and shaved his head, and fell down upon the ground, and worshipped, and said, Naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord hath given, and the Lord hath taken it. Blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this did not Job sin, nor charge God foolishly. Chapter 2. And on a day the children of God came and stood before the Lord, and Satan came also among them and stood before the Lord. Then the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From compassing the earth to and from walking in it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou not considered my servant Job? How none is like him in the earth, an upright and just man, one that feareth God, and escheweth evil. For yet he continueth in his uprightness, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin, and all that ever a man hath will he give for his life. But stretch now out thine hand, and touch his bones and his flesh, to see if he will not blaspheme thee to thy face. Then the Lord said unto Satan, Lo, he is in thine hand, but save his life. So Satan departed from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils, from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took a potsherd to scrape him, and he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou continue yet in thine uprightness? Blaspheme God and die. But he said unto her, Thou speakest like a foolish woman. What? Shall we receive good at the hand of God, and not receive evil? In all this did not Job sin with his lips. Now, when Job's 3 friends heard of all this evil that was come upon him, they came every one from his own place, to wit, Eliphaz the Temanite, Bildad the Shuhite, Zophar the Naamite, for they were agreed together to come to lament with him and to comfort him. So when they lift up their eyes afar off, they knew him not. Therefore they lift up their voice and wept, and every one of them rent his clothes, and sprinkled dust upon their heads toward the heaven. So they sat by him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him, for they saw that the grief was very great. Chapter 3. Afterward Job opened his mouth and cursed his day. And Job cried out and said, Let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night when it was said, There is a man-child conceived. Let that day be darkness. Let not God regard it from above, neither let the light shine upon it. But let darkness and the shadow of death stain it. Let the cloud remain upon it, and let them make it fearful as a bitter day. Let darkness possess that night. Let it not be joined unto the days of the year, nor let it come into the count of the months. Yea, desolate be that night, and let no joy be in it. Let them that curse the day, being ready to renew their mourning, curse it. Let the stars of that twilight be dim through darkness of it. Let it look for light, but have none, neither let it see the dawning of the day. Because it shut not up the doors of my mother's womb, nor hid sorrow from mine eyes. Why died I not in the birth? Or why died I not when I came out of the womb? Why did the knees prevent me? And why did I suck the breast? For so should I now have lain and been quiet. I should have slept then and been at rest. When the kings and the counselors of the earth, which have builded themselves desolate places, or if the princes that had gold had filled their houses with silver, or why was I not hid as an untimely birth, neither as infants which have not seen the light? Either as infants, yeah. The wicked have there ceased from their tyranny, and there they labored valiantly, are at rest. The prisoners rest together and hear not the voice of the oppressor. There are small and great. The servant is free from his master. Wherefore is the light given to him that is in misery, and life unto them that have heavy hearts, which long for death. And if it come not, they would even search for it more than treasures. Which joy for gladness and rejoice when they can find the grave. Why is the light given to the man whose way is hid, and whom God hath hedged in? For my sighing cometh before I eat, and my roarings are poured out like the water. For the thing I feared is come upon me, and the thing that I was afraid of is come unto me. I had no peace, neither had I quietness, neither had I rest, yet trouble is come. Chapter 4. Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, If we essay to commune with thee, wilt thou be grieved? But who can withhold himself from speaking? Behold, thou hast taught many, and hast strengthened the weary hands. Thy words have confirmed him that was falling, and thou hast strengthened the weak knees. But now it is come upon thee, and thou art grieved. It toucheth thee, and thou art troubled. Is not this thy fear, thy confidence, thy patience, and the uprightness of thy ways? Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being an innocent, or where were the upright destroyed? As I have seen, they that plow iniquity sow wickedness, reap the same. With the blast of God they perish, and with the breath of his nostrils they are consumed. Are they consumed? The roaring of the lion, and the voice of the lioness, and the teeth of the lion's whelps are broken. The lion perisheth for lack of prey, and the lion's whelp are scattered abroad. But a thing was brought to me secretly, and mine ear hath received a little thereof. And the thoughts of the visions of the night, when sleep falleth on men, fear came upon me, and dread, which made all my bones to tremble. And the wind passed before me, and made the hairs of my flesh to stand up. Then stood one, and I knew not his face. An image was before mine eyes, and in silence I heard I a voice saying, Shall man be more just than God? Or shall a man be more pure than his Maker? Behold, he found no steadfastness in his servants, and laid folly upon his angels. How much more in them that dwell in houses of clay, whose foundation is in the dust, which shall be destroyed before the moth. They be destroyed from the morning unto the evening. They perish forever without regard. Doth not their dignity go away with them? Do they not die, and that without wisdom? Chapter 5. Call now, if any will answer thee. And to which of the saints wilt thou turn? Doubtless anger killeth the foolish, envy slayeth the idiot. I have seen the foolish well rooted, and suddenly I cursed his habitation, saying, His children shall be far from salvation, and they shall be destroyed in the gate, and none shall deliver them. The hungry shall eat up his harvest, yea, they shall take it from among the thorns, and the thirsty shall drink up their substance. For misery cometh not forth of the dust, neither doth affliction spring out of the earth. But man is born unto travail, as the sparks fly upward. But I would inquire at God, and turn my talk unto God, which doeth great things, and unsearchable, and marvelous things without number. He giveth rain upon the earth, and poureth water upon the streets, and setteth up on high them that be low, that the sorrowful may be exalted to salvation. He scattereth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot accomplish that which they do enterprise. He taketh the wise in their craftiness, and the counsel of the wicked is made foolish. They meet with darkness in the daytime, and grope at noonday as in the night. But he saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth, and from the hand of the violent man. So that the poor hath his hope, but iniquity shall stop her mouth. Behold, blessed is the man whom God correcteth. Therefore refuse not thou the chastising of the Almighty. For he maketh the wound and bindeth it up. He smiteth, and his hands make whole. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, and in the 7th the evil shall not touch thee. In famine he shall deliver thee from death, and in battle from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, and thou shalt not be afraid of destruction when it cometh. But thou shalt laugh at destruction and dearth, and shalt not be afraid of the beasts of the earth. For the stones of the field shall be in league with thee, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. And thou shalt know that peace shall be in thy tabernacle, and thou shalt visit thine habitation, and shalt not sin. Thou shalt perceive also that thy seed shall be great, and thy posterity as the grass of the earth. Thou shalt go to thy grave in a full age, as a rick of corn cometh in due season into the barn. Lo, thus have we inquired of it, and so it is. Hear this, and know it for thyself. Chapter 6. But Job answered and said, Oh, that my grief were well weighed, and my miseries were laid together in the balance, for it would be now heavier than the sand of the sea. Therefore my words are swallowed up. For the arrows of the Almighty are in me, the venom whereof doeth drink up my spirit, and the terrors of God fight against me. Doth the wild ass bray when he hath grass, or loweth the ox when he hath fodder? That which is unsavory, shall it be eaten without salt? Or is there any taste in the white of an egg? Such things as my soul refused to touch, as were sorrows, are my meat. Oh, that I might have my desire, and that God would grant me the thing that I long for. That is, that God would destroy me, that he would let his hand go and cut me off. Then should I have comfort, though I burn with sorrow. Let him not spare, because I have not denied the word of the Holy One. What power have I that I should endure? Or what is mine end, if I should prolong my life? Is my strength the strength of stones? Or is my flesh of brass? Is it not so that there is in me no help, and that strength is taken from me? He that is in misery ought to be comforted of his neighbor, but men have forsaken the fear of the Almighty. My brethren have deceived me as a brook, and as the rising of the rivers they pass away, which are blackish with thee, and wherein the snow is hid. But in time they are dried up with heat, and are consumed, and when it is hot they fail out of their places, or they depart from their way and course, yea, they vanish and perish. They that go to Tema considered them, and they that go to Sheba waited for them. But they were confounded when they hoped. They came thither and were ashamed. Surely now are ye like unto it. Ye have seen my fearful plague, and are afraid. Was it because I said, Bring unto me, or give a reward to me of my substance, and deliver me from the enemy's hands, or ransom me out of the hand of the tyrants? Teach me, and I will hold my tongue. Cause me to understand wherein I have erred. How steadfast are the words of the righteousness. I said that wrong. How steadfast are the words of righteousness, and what can any of you justly reprove? Do ye imagine to reprove words, that the talk of the afflicted should be as the wind? You make your wrath to fall upon the fatherless, and dig a pit for your friend. Now therefore be content to look upon me, for I will not lie before your face. Turn, I pray you. Let there be none iniquity. Return, I say, and ye shall see yet my righteousness in that behalf. Is there iniquity in my tongue? Doth not my mouth feel sores? Then it says that verse 30 is not in there, so I don't know why. Chapter 7. Is there not an appointed time to man upon earth? And are not his days as the days of an hireling? As a servant longeth for the shadow, and as a hireling looketh for the end of his work, so have I had as an inheritance the months of vanity, and painful nights have been appointed unto me. If I laid me down, I said, when shall I rise? And measuring the evening, I am even full with tossing to and from unto the dawning of the day. My flesh is clothed with worms and filthiness of the dust. My skin is rent and become horrible. My days are swifter than a weaver's shuttle, and they are spent without hope. Remember that my life is but a wind, and that mine eye shall not return to see pleasure. The eye that hath seen me shall see me no more. Thine eyes are upon me, and I shall be no longer. As the cloud vanisheth and goeth away, so he that goeth down to the grave shall come up no more. He shall return no more to his house, neither shall his place know him any more. Therefore I will not spare my mouth, but will speak in the trouble of my spirit, and muse in the bitterness of my mind. Am I a sea or a whale fish, that thou keepest me in ward? When I say my couch shall relieve me, and my bed shall bring comfort in my meditation, then fearest thou me with dreams, and astonisheth me with visions. Therefore my soul chooseth rather to be strangled and to die, than to be in my bones. I abhor it. I shall not live alway. Spare me then, for my days are but vanity. What is man, that thou dost magnify him, and that thou settest thine heart upon him, and dost visit him every morning, and triest him every moment? How long will it be ere thou depart from me? What does that mean? How long will it be ere thou depart from me? Thou wilt not let me alone while as I may swallow my spittle. I have sinned. What shall I do unto thee? O thou preserver of me, why hast thou set me as a mark against thee, so that I am a burden unto myself? And why dost thou not pardon my trespass, and take away mine iniquity? For now shall I sleep in the dust, and if thou seekest me in the morning, I shall not be found. Chapter 8. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite, and said, How long wilt thou talk of these things? And how long shall the words of thy mouth be as a mighty wind? Doth God pervert judgment, or doth the Almighty subvert justice? If thy sons have sinned against him, and he hath sent them into the place of their iniquity, yet if thou wilt early seek unto God, and pray to the Almighty, if thou be pure and upright, then surely he will awake up unto thee, and he will make the habitation of thy righteousness prosper. And though thy beginning be small, yet thy latter end shall greatly increase. Inquire therefore, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to search of their fathers. For we are but of yesterday, and are ignorant, for our days upon earth are but a shadow. Shall not they teach thee, and tell thee, and utter the words of their heart? Can a rush grow without mire? Or can the grass grow without water? Though it were in green and not cut down, yet shall it wither before any other herb. So are the paths of all that forget God, and the hypocrites shall perish. His confidence also shall be cut off, and his trust shall be as the house of a spider. He shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. He shall hold himself fast by it, yet shall it not endure. The tree is green before the sun, the branch is spread over the garden thereof. The roots thereof are wrapped about the fountain, and are folded about the house of stones. If any pluck it from his place, and it deny, saying, I have not seen thee, behold, it will rejoice by this means, that it may grow in another mold. Behold, God will not cast away an upright man, neither will he take the wicked by the hand, till he have filled thy mouth with laughter, and thy lips with joy. They that hate thee shall be clothed with shame, and the dwelling of the wicked shall not remain. Chapter 9. Then Job answered and said, I know verily that it is so. For how should man compare unto God be justified? If I would dispute with him, he could not answer him one thing of 1,000. He is wise in heart and mighty in strength. Who hath been fierce against him and hath prospered? He removeth the mountains, and they feel not when he overthrow them in his wrath. He removeth the earth out of her place, that the pillars thereof do shake. He commandeth the sun, and it riseth not. He closeth up the stars as under a signet. He himself alone spreadeth out the heavens, and walketh upon the height of the sea. He maketh the stars, Arcturus, Orion, and Pleiades, and the climates of the south. He doth great things, and unsearchable, yea, marvelous things, without number. Lo, when he goeth by me, I see him not. When he passeth by, I perceive him not. Behold, when he taketh a prayer, who can make him to restore it? Who shall say unto him, What doest thou? God will not withdraw his anger, and the most mighty helps do stupor under him. How much less shall I answer him? Or how should I find out my words with him? For though I were just, yet could I not answer, but I would make supplication to my judge. If I cry and he answer me, ye would I not believe that he heard my voice. No, I said that wrong. If I cry and he answer me, yet would I not believe that he heard my voice. For he destroyeth me with a tempest, and woundeth me without cause. He will not suffer me to take my breath, but filleth me with bitterness. If we speak of strength, behold, he is strong. If we speak of judgment, who shall bring me into plead? If I would justify myself, mine own mouth shall condemn me. If I would be perfect, he shall judge me wicked. Though I were perfect, yet I know not my soul. Therefore abhor I my life. This is one point, therefore I said, he destroyeth the perfect and the wicked. If the scourge should only slay, should God laugh at the punishment of the innocent? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where is he? Or who is he? My days have been more swift than a post. They have fled and have seen no good thing. They are past as with the most swift ships, and as the eagle that fly to the prey. If I say I will forget my complaint, I will cease from my wrath and comfort me, that I am afraid of all my sorrows, knowing that thou wilt not judge me innocent. If I be wicked, why labor I thus in vain? If I wash myself with snow water, and purge my hands most clean, yet shalt thou plunge me in the pit, and mine own clothes shall make me filthy. For he is not a man as I am, that I should answer him, if we come together to judgment. Neither is there any umpire. That umpire? I think that is umpire. Empire? I'm not sure on that, guys. Neither is there any umpire that might lay his hand upon us both. Let him take his rod away from me, and let not his fear astonish me. Then will I speak, and fear him not. But because I am not so, I hold me still. Chapter 10. My soul is cut off, though I live. I will leave my complaint upon myself, and will speak in the bitterness of my soul. I will say unto God, condemn me not. Shew me wherefore thou contendest with me. Thinkest thou it good to oppress me, and to cast off the labor of thine hands, and to favor the counsel of the wicked? Hast thou carnal eyes? Or dost thou see as a man seeth? Are thy days as man's days? Or thy years as the time of man, that thou inquirest of mine iniquity, and searcheth out my sin? Thou knowest that I cannot do wickedly, for none can deliver me out of thine hand. Thine hands have made me, and fashioned me wholly round about. And wilt thou destroy me? Remember, I pray thee, that thou hast made me as the clay, and wilt thou bring me into dust again? Hast thou not poured me out as milk, and turned me to cruds like cheese? Curds, I think that means curds, not cruds, but it is spelled cruds. I think it means curds like cheese. Thou hast clothed me with skin and flesh, and joined me together with bones and sinews. Thou hast given me life and grace, and thy visitation hath preserved my spirit. Though thou hast hid these things in thine heart, yet I know that it is so with thee. If I have sinned, then thou wilt straightly look unto me, and wilt not hold me guiltless of mine iniquity. If I have done wickedly, woe unto me. If I have done righteously, I will not lift up mine head, being full of confusion, because I see mine affliction. But let it increase. Haunt thou me as a lion. Return and show thyself marvelous upon me. Thou renewest thy plagues against me, and thou increasest thy wrath against me. Changes and armies of sorrows are against me. Wherefore then hast thou brought me out of the womb? Oh, that I had perished, and that none eye had seen me, and that I were as I had not been, but brought from the womb to the grave. Are not my days few? Let him cease and leave off from me, that I may take a little comfort. Before I go, and shall not return, even to the land of darkness and shadow of death, into a land, I say, dark as darkness itself, and into the shadow of death, where is none order, but the light is there as darkness. Sad. Chapter 11. Then answered Zophar the Naamathite, and said, should not the multitude of words be answered? Or should a great talker be justified? Should men hold their peace at thy lies? And when thou mockest others, shall none make thee ashamed? For thou hast said, my doctrine is pure, and I am clean in thine eyes. But oh, that God would speak and open his lips against thee, that he might shew thee the secrets of wisdom, how thou hast deserved double, according to right. Know therefore that God hath forgotten thee for thine iniquity. Canst thou by searching find out God? Canst thou find out the Almighty to his perfection? The heavens are high. What canst thou do? It is deeper than hell. How canst thou know it? The measure thereof is longer than the earth, and it is broader than the sea. If he cut off and shut up or gather together, who can turn him back? For he knoweth vain men, and seeth iniquity, and him that understandeth nothing. Yet vain man would be wise, though man newborn is like a wild ass colt. If thou prepare thine heart, and stretch out thine hands toward him, if iniquity be in thine hand, put it far away, and let no wickedness dwell in thy tabernacle. That truly shalt thou lift up thy face without spot, and shalt be stable, and shalt not fear. But thou shalt forget thy misery, and remember it as waters that are past. Thine age also shall appear before more clear than the noonday. Thou shalt shine and be as the morning, and thou shalt be bold, because there is hope, and thou shalt dig pits, and shalt lie down safely. For when thou takest thy rest, none shall make thee afraid. Yea, many shall make suit against unto thee. But the eyes of the wicked shall fail, and their refuge shall perish, and their hope shall be sorrow of mind. Chapter 12. Then Job answered and said, indeed, because that ye are the people only, wisdom must die with you. But I have understanding as well as you, and am not inferior unto you. Yea, who knoweth not such things? I am as one mocked of his neighbor, who calleth upon God, and he heareth him. The just and the upright is laughed to scorn. He that is ready to fall is as a lamp despised in the opinion of the rich. The tabernacles of robbers do prosper, and they are in safety that provoke God, whom God hath enriched with his hand. Ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of heaven, and they shall tell thee. Or speak to the earth, and it shall show thee of the fishes of the sea, and they shall declare unto thee. Who is ignorant of all these, but that the hand of the Lord hath made these, in whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind? Doth not the ears discern the words, and the mouth taste meat for itself? Among the ancient is wisdom, and the length of days is understanding. With him is wisdom and strength. He hath counsel and understanding. Behold, he will break down, and it cannot be built. He shutteth a man up, and he cannot be loosed. Behold, he withdraweth the waters, and they dry up. But when he sendeth them out, they destroy the earth. With him is strength and wisdom. He that is deceived and that deceiveth are his. He causeth the counselors to go as spoiled, and maketh the judges fools. He looseneth the collars of kings, and girdeth their loins with a girdle. He leadeth away the princes as a prey, and overthroweth the mighty. He taketh away the speech from the faithful counselors, and taketh away the judgment of the ancient. He poureth contempt upon princes, and maketh the strength of the mighty weak. He discovereth the deep places from their darkness, and bringeth forth the shadow of death to light. He increaseth the people, and destroyeth them. He enlargeth the nations, and bringeth them in again. He taketh away the hearts of them that are the chief over the people of the earth, and maketh them to wander in the wilderness out of the way. They grope in the dark without light, and he maketh them to stagger like a drunken man. Chapter 13. Lo, mine eye hath seen all this, mine ear hath heard and understood it. I know also as much as you know. I am not inferior unto you, but I will speak to the Almighty, and I desire to dispute with God. For indeed ye forge lies, and all you are physicians of no value. Oh, that you would hold your tongue, that it might be imputed to you for wisdom. Now hear my disputation, and give ear to the arguments of my lips. Will ye speak wickedly for God's defense, and talk deceitfully for his cause? Will ye accept his person, or will ye contend for God? Is it well that he should seek of you? Will you make a lie for him, as one lieth for a man? He will surely reprove you, if ye do secretly accept any person. Shall not his excellency make you afraid, and his fear fall upon you? Your memories may be compared unto ashes, and your bodies to bodies of clay. Hold your tongues in my presence, that I may speak, and let come upon what will. Wherefore do I take my flesh in my teeth, and put my soul in mine hands? Lo, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him, and I will reprove my ways in his sight. He shall be my salvation also, for the hypocrite shall not come before him. Hear diligently my words, and mark my talk. Behold now, if I prepare me to judgment, I know that I shall be justified. Who is he that will plead with me? For if I now hold my tongue, I die. But do not these two things unto me, then will I not hide myself from thee. Withdraw thine hands from me, and let not thy fear make me afraid. Then call thou, and I will answer, or let me speak, and answer thou me. How many are mine iniquities and sins? Shew me my rebellion and my sin. Wherefore hidest thou thy face, and takest me for thine enemy? Wilt thou break a leaf driven to and from? Wilt thou pursue the dry stubble? For thou writest bitter things against me, and makest me to possess the iniquities of my youth. Thou puttest my feet also in the stocks, and lookest narrowly unto all my paths, and maketh the print thereof in the heels of my feet. Such one consumeth like a rotten thing, and as a garment that is moth eaten. Chapter 14. Man that is born of woman is of short continuance, and full of trouble. He shooteth forth as a flower, and is cut down. He vanisheth also as a shadow, and continueth not. And yet thou openest thine eyes upon such one, and causest me to enter into judgment with thee. Who can bring a clean thing out of filthiness? There is not one. Are not his days determined, and the number of his months, no, number, it's number, not number. The number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bonds, which he cannot pass. Turn from him, that he may cease until his desired day, as an hireling. For there is hope of a tree, if it be cut down, that it will yet sprout, and branches thereof will not cease. Though the root of it wax old in the earth, and the stock thereof be dead in the ground, yet by the scent of water it will bud, and bring forth boughs like a plant. But man is sick, and dieth, and man perisheth. And where is he? As the waters pass from the sea, and as the flood decayeth and drieth up, so man sleepeth and riseth not, for he shall not wake again, nor be raised from his sleep till the heaven be no more. Oh, that thou wouldest hide me in the grave, and keep me secret until thy wrath were past, and wouldest give me term and remember me. If a man die, shall he live again? All the days of mine appointed time will I wait, till my changing shall come. Thou shalt call me, and I shall answer thee. Thou lovest the work of thine own hands. But now thou numberest my steps, and dost not delay my sins. Mine iniquity is sealed up as in a bag, and thou addest unto my wickedness. And surely as the mountain that falleth cometh to naught, and the rock that is removed from his place, as the water breaketh the stones, when thou overflowest the things which grow in the dust of the earth, so thou destroyest the hope of man. Thou prevailest always against him, so that he passeth away. He changeth his face when thou castest him away. And he knoweth not if his son shall be honorable, neither shall he understand concerning them, whether they shall be of low degree. But while his flesh is upon him, he shall be sorrowful, and while his soul is in him, it shall mourn. Job 15. Then answered Eliphaz the Temanite and said, Shall a wise man speak words of the wind, and fill his belly with the east wind? Shall he dispute with words not comely, or talk that is not profitable, or with talk that is not profitable? Surely thou hast cast off fear, and restraineth prayer before God. For thy mouth declareth thine iniquity, seeing thou hast chosen the tongue of the crafty. Thine own mouth condemneth thee, and not I, and thy lips testify against thee. Art thou the first man that was born, and wast thou made before the hills? Hast thou heard the secret counsel of God, and dost thou restrain wisdom to thee? What knowest thou that we know not, and understandest that is not in us? With us are both ancient and very aged men, far older than thy father. Seem the consolations of God small unto thee? Is this thing strange unto thee? Why doth thine heart take thee away? And what doth thine eyes mean, that thou answerest to God at thy pleasure, and bringest such words out of thy mouth? What is man, that he should be clean? And he that is born of a woman, that he should be just? Behold, he found no steadfastness in his saints, yea, the heavens are not clean in his sight. How much more is man abominable and filthy, which drinketh iniquity like water? I will tell thee, hear me, and I will declare that which I have seen, which wise men have told as they have heard of their fathers, and have not kept it secret, to whom alone the land was given, and no stranger passed through them. The wicked man is continually as one that travaileth of child, and the number of years is hid from the tyrant. A sound of fear is in his ears, and his prosperity the destroyer shall come upon him. He believeth not to return out of darkness, for he seeth the sword before him. He wandereth to and from for bread where he may. He knoweth that the day of darkness is prepared at hand. Affliction and anguish shall make him afraid. They shall prevail against him as a king ready to the battle. For he hath stretched out his hand against God, and made himself strong against the Almighty. Therefore God shall run upon him, even upon his neck, and against the most thick part of his shield. Because he hath covered his face with his fatness, and hath collapse in his flank. Though he dwell in desolate cities, and in houses which no man inhabiteth, but are become heaps, he shall not be rich, neither shall his substance continue, neither shall he prolong the perfection thereof in the earth. He shall never depart out of darkness. The flame shall dry up his branches, and he shall go away with the breath of his mouth. He believeth not that he erreth in vanity, therefore vanity shall be his change. His branch shall not be green, but shall be cut off before his day. God shall destroy him as the vine, her sour grape. Sour grape, yeah. And shall cast him off as the olive doth her flower. For the congregation of the hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall devour the houses of bribes. For they conceive mischief, and bring forth vanity, and their belly hath prepared deceit. Chapter 16. But Job answered and said, I have oft times heard such things. Miserable comforters are ye all. Shall there be none end of words of wind? Or what maketh thee bold so to answer? I could also speak as ye do, but would God your soul were in my soul's instead. No, I said, let's see. I could also speak as ye do, but would God your soul were in my soul's stead. I could keep you company in speaking, and could shake my head at you. But I would strengthen you with my mouth, and the comfort of my lips would assuage your sorrow. Though I speak, my sorrow cannot be assuaged. Though I cease, what release have I? But now he maketh me weary. O God, thou hast made all my congregation desolate, and hast made me full of wrinkles, which is a witness thereof. And my leanness rises up in me, testifying the same in my face. His wrath hath torn me, and he hateth me, and gnasheth upon me with his teeth. Mine enemy has sharpened his eyes against me. They have opened their mouths upon me, and smitten me on the cheeks in reproach. They gather themselves together against me. God hath delivered me to the unjust, and hath made me to turn out of the way by the hands of the wicked. I was in wealth, but he hath brought me to naught. He hath taken me by the neck and beaten me, and set me as a mark for himself. His archers compass me round about. He cutteth my reins, and doth not spare, and poureth my gall upon the ground. He hath broken me with one breaking upon another, and runneth upon me like a giant. I have sewed a sackcloth upon my skin, and have based mine horn unto the dust. My face is withered with weeping, and the shadow of death is upon mine eyes. Though there be no wickedness in mine hands, my prayer be pure. O earth, cover not thou my blood, and let my crying find no place. For lo, now my witness is in the heaven, and my record is on high. My friends speak eloquently against me, but mine eye poureth out tears unto God. Oh, that a man might plead with God as man with his neighbor. For the years accounted come, and I shall go the way whence I shall not return. That poor feller. Chapter 17. My breath is corrupt, my days are cut off, and the grave is ready for me. There are none but mockers with me, and mine eyes continueth in their bitterness. They lay down now and put me in surety for thee. Who is he that will touch mine hand? For thou hast hid their heart from understanding, therefore shalt thou not set them up on high. For the eyes of his children shall fail, that speaketh flattery to his friends. He hath also made me a byword of the people, and I am as a tabret before them. Mine eye therefore is dim for grief, and all my strength is like a shadow. The righteous shall be astonished at this, and the innocent shall be moved against the hypocrite. But the righteous will hold his way, and he whose hands are pure shall increase in strength. Shall increase his strength. All ye therefore turn you, and come now, and I shall not find one wise among you. My days are past, mine enterprises are broken, and the thoughts of mine heart have changed the night for the day, and the light that approached for darkness. Though I hope, yet the grave shall be mine house, and I shall make my bed in the dark. I shall say to corruption, thou art my father, and to the worm, thou art my mother and my sister. Where is then now mine hope? Or who shall consider the thing that I hoped for? They shall go down into the bottom of the pit. Surely it shall lie together in the dust. Chapter 18. Then answered Bildad the Shuhite and said, When will ye make an end of your words? Cause us to understand, and then we will speak. Wherefore are we counted as beasts, and are vile in your sight? Thou art as one that teareth his soul in his anger. Shall the earth be forsaken for thy sake, or the rock removed out of his place? Yea, the light of the wicked shall be quenched, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. The light shall be dark in his dwelling, and the candle shall be put out with him. The steps of his strength shall be restrained, and his own counsel shall cast him down. For he is taken in the net by his feet, and he walketh upon the snares. The green shall take him by the heel, and these shall come upon him, the thief, and the thief shall come upon him. A snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. Fearfulness shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet. His strength shall be famine, and destruction shall be ready at his side. It shall devour the inner parts of his skin, and the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. His hope shall be rooted out of his dwelling, and shall cause him to go to the king of fear. Fear shall dwell in his house, because it is not his, and brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut down. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. They shall drive him out of the light unto darkness, and chase him out of the world. He shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any posterity in his dwellings. The posterity shall be astonished at his day, and fear shall come upon the ancient. Surely such are the inhabitants of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not God. Chapter 19. But Job answered and said, How long will ye vex my soul, and torment me with words? Ye have now 10 times reproached me, and are not ashamed. Ye are impudent toward me. And though I had indeed erred, mine error remaineth with me. And indeed, if ye will advance yourselves against me, and rebuke me for my reproach, know now, that God hath overthrown me, and hath compassed me with his net. Behold, I cry out of violence, but I have none answer. I cry, but there is no judgment. He hath hedged up my way that I cannot pass, and he hath set darkness in my paths. He hath spoiled me of mine honor, and taken the crown away from mine head. He hath destroyed me on every side, and I am gone. He hath removed mine hope like a tree, and he hath kindled his wrath against me, and counted me as one of his enemies. His armies came together and made their way upon me, and camped about my tabernacle. He hath removed my breath far from me, and also mine acquaintance were strangers unto me. My neighbors have forsaken me, and my familiars have forgotten me. They that dwell in mine house and my maids took me for a stranger, for I was a stranger in their sight. I called my servant, but he would not answer, though I prayed him with my mouth. My breath was strange unto my wife, though I prayed her for the children's sake of mine own body. The wicked also despised me, and when I rose, they spake against me. All my secret friends abhor me, and they whom I loved are turned against me. My bone cleaveth to my skin, and to my flesh, and I have escaped with the skin of my teeth. Have pity upon me, have pity upon me, O ye, my friends, for the hand of God hath touched me. Why do ye persecute me as God, and are not satisfied with my flesh? Oh, that my words were now written. Oh, that they were written even in a book, engraven with an iron pen in lead, or in stone forever. For I am sure that my Redeemer liveth, and he shall stand the last on the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet shall I see God in my flesh, whom I myself shall see, and mine eyes shall behold, and none other for me, though my reins are consumed within me. But ye said, Why is he persecuted? And there was a deeper matter in me. Be ye afraid of the sword, for the sword will be avenged of the wickedness, that ye may know that there is a judgment. Chapter 20. Then answered Zophar the Naamathite, and said, Doubtless my thoughts cause me to answer, and therefore I make haste. I have heard the correction of my reproach, therefore the spirit of man understanding causeth me to answer. Knowest thou not this of old, and since God placed man upon the earth, that the rejoicing of the wicked is short, and the joy of hypocrites is but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heaven, and his head reach into the clouds, yet shall he perish forever like his dung, and they which have seen him shall say, Where is he? He shall flee away as a dream, and they shall not find him, and shall pass away as a vision of the night, so that the eye which had seen him shall do so no more, and his place shall see him no more. His children shall flatter the poor, and his hand shall restore his substance. His bones are full of the sin of his youth, and it shall lie down with him in the dust. When wickedness was sweet in his mouth, and he hid it under his tongue, and favored it, and would not forsake it, but kept it close in his mouth. Then his meat and his bowels was turned, the gall of asps was in the midst of him. He hath devoured substance, he shall vomit it, for God shall draw it out of his belly. He shall suck the gall of asp, and the viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, nor the floods and streams of honey and butter. He shall restore the labor, and shall devour no more. Even according to the substance shall be his exchange, and he shall enjoy it no more. For he hath undone many, he hath forsaken the poor, and hath spoiled houses which he builded not. Surely he shall feel no quietness in his body, neither shall he reserve of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left, therefore none shall hope for his goods. When he shall be filled with his abundance, he shall be in pain, and the hand of all the wicked shall assail him. He shall be about to fill his belly, but God shall send upon him his fierce wrath, and shall cause to rain upon him, even upon his meat. And he shall flee from the iron weapons, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Their arrow is drawn out, and cometh forth of the body, and shineth of his gall, so fear cometh upon him. All darkness shall be hid in his secret places. The fire that is not blown shall devour him, and that which remaineth in his tabernacle shall be destroyed. The heavens shall declare his wickedness, and the earth shall rise up against him. The increase of his house shall go away. It shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of the wicked man from God, and the heritage that he shall have of God for his words. I'm going to end that there. Time, brothers and sisters. So, until then, keep your eyes on Jesus and your nose in the book, which is the Word of God. And let us embed the Word of God upon the tablets of our hearts, so you and I will not sin against God or be deceived.